A church outside of Chicago similarly is using their nativity display to raise awareness of what ICE is doing to immigrants. After all, who were Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus sleeping in a stable because there was no room for them in the inn? What does the scripture say about foreigners in your land? I mean, Leviticus 19:33 says, when a foreigner lives with you in your land, do not take advantage of him. Treat the foreigner the same as a native. Love him like one of your own. Remember that you were once foreigners in Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So are not pastors and churches living out their faith, embodying the scriptures when they have nativities like this one?
Everything that you see in that nativity is something that happened in Chicagoland. Baby Jesus has zip ties on. It's because that's refers to a real event that happened. When our Mary and our Joseph have gas masks on, that refers to the fact that the folks who have been trying to defend our neighbors and our siblings from being abducted had to wear gas masks because they were getting tear gassed by ICE when they came into our neighborhoods. ICE centurions chasing the Holy Family with their faces covered, I think that speaks for itself. The real intent, right, is to try to update folks and update the story that we're seeing from 2,000 years ago into the present context and ask, what would it be like if Jesus were born right here in Chicagoland? That story is also a story about authoritarianism. That story is also about the Holy Family immediately becoming refugees and having to flee into Egypt because of state-sponsored terror against them from King Herod. The Christmas story is already a critique of power. Herod is not the good guy in the Christmas story. The good guy is Jesus, and Jesus is a baby and ostensibly has no physical power, and yet we know that's not the story that Christianity was telling. So Christianity has always invited us to imagine power anew, power with people, power through compassion, through love.
You were detained recently during an ICE protest in Chicago. Why do you feel it's important for faith leaders to stand up against ICE?
I think it's so important. Faith leaders occupy this really unique place in our landscape because they can tease apart what is the difference between what is legal and what is right.
That's exactly
so
right.
If you go through history and you look, everything that happened in Nazi Germany was legal. Slavery was legal. If you talk to federal authorities, what happened in the Broadview facility and the Broadview ICE processing facility, they'll say it's legal. But we know it's torture. So we know that it's denial of medical care, it's denial of medicine, it's one meal a day, it's filthy conditions, it's inhumane and dehumanizing what goes on in Broadview and what has gone on in Broadview, and we know it's torture. So clergy have this, and religious leaders generally, they have a really important role to play in saying just because the state says something's legal doesn't mean that it's right, and they can really tease that apart.